Hey folks, Ted here. I'm gonna walk you through a couple of inflatable kayaks, tell you a little bit about why you might want an inflatable kayak. I kind of got into these a few years ago when I got into doing some whitewater, and this is a good, easy way to transition into whitewater. It also allowed me to learn about safety. It allowed me to learn some of the rivers that I would paddle later in a hard boat. And, so they're really good. The other thing is they're great to have, if it's not your primary boat, they're a great option for friends that want to tag along, and also for kids. So my kids also have used these a lot when I'm in maybe another boat. So anyway, I've got several different boats and have had different models, and I'm planning to do some reviews on different brands and models, not just the ones I've had or have owned. But I thought I would go ahead and start here with what I do have. So let's take a look here. This orange boat here is a Tributary Strike. Tributary is basically the Chinese-made brand by AIRE. So AIRE, this one back here is an AIRE Lynx, the red one. That one's a made in the USA. You know, they're great because they've got the 10-year warranty. I don't know what the warranty is on this one. It was maybe 3 years, something like that. But anyway, they're very similar boats, but there's also some differences. So I just thought, it might be nice. I know when I was first looking at these types of boats, there was very little information online. I mean, I could get on Mountain Buzz or something and try to read about these. There were the actual AIRE or Tributary, I guess, little their reviews of it, but no customer reviews, no paddlers. So I'm no expert. I'm no expert paddler. I'm just a regular guy who got into this, and a lot of what I do is trial and error. So, but anyway, so let's take a look at what the differences are. So they look, they're about the same length. The bottoms, they both have the cheetah chair. And to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of the cheetah chair. I know that they make a thwart seat. AIRE makes that. I'm planning to get one of those because I'm not a fan of this cheetah seat. It's got a nice bag on the back and drink holder and all that business. It's got a strap that goes under it, which is nice. You can be used as a flip strap. But I would rather have something stiffer that I can lean up against personally. On both of these models, I've got the NRS thigh straps. I think, to me, if you're going to do whitewater, that's a must. You want to do that. So on this Tributary, I added, this is actually an AIRE, a little mini thwart. I don't think they sell these anymore, but I got this one on eBay, and it's perfect. Really, I love it. I would rather have this in my boat, and this boat is really one that my kids have used and friends. But I think that's a great solution if you can get a thwart of some sort. If you come over, take a look at this. In the Lynx, I actually installed the foot pegs, and you can do this in I think a lot of different boats, and these move around depending on where you want them. Those work pretty good, but again, I would rather have the thwart over there because if you get thrown out, these foot pegs can be kind of sharp or whatever. I haven't had any issue with them. I know they can, I suppose this could rip eventually. It's been okay for me so far, but I'm not thrilled with that, but they're in there, and so I use them. What else? So let's take a look at I guess I'll show you right here. This is a neat little bag that I added to this boat a couple of years ago, and I guess I've had this boat maybe 3-4 years. This is not a dry bag. They do make a dry bag. It's got mesh. What I do is I just take whatever dry bags I'm taking or gear that can get wet, and I throw it in there, and it's a nice tidy way. I don't have to strap everything in every time I go. Another feature on both of these boats, I'm getting kind of really are these loops that they've got, and they've got, I don't know how many, but they're all the way through the boat, which is great. You can strap things in anywhere, so it's really adjustable. So that is a good feature there. Of course, both of these have the inner tube kind of modeled, and then the exterior PVC. Let's see, they have this one's got a T-grip up here on the front and back, so nice little carrying handle, both ends. This Tributary's got a different kind of handle, but you know, again, decent. One thing about the Tributary, the PVC, everything's a little thinner, I guess. The PVC is maybe thinner because this is a lighter boat. This one has these valves. You know, I guess I think they're Summit valves. I'm not a fan of this kind of valve because it requires a special attachment for my pump. So I don't like those. That's you know, I don't know how much a valve is, but I wish I could, maybe I can swap them, I don't know, but it's sort of a pain. Every other boat or raft I own has the leaf-filled valves, and I don't care for those, so that's a negative on my opinion. Oh, one thing I want to show you back here, kind of going back and forth here, but so on the Tributary, you know, I've got a valve here, a valve in the floor, and a valve up front, of course, in the thwart as well. You know, that's fine, but what I do, I think this is a nice little feature. I guess these are all unscrewed here. On this AIRE, is all the valves are right here together, and they're also, I think these are B7 leaf-filled valves. So, you know, I like the leaf-filled valves. I haven't had to repair any, but just they're you know, to me they're much more heavy duty than those Summits, and of course it's easy to any kind, you know, my pumps just pop right in there, there's no issue. But I like the fact they're all together, so you're not moving all around trying to pump this thing up. So that's just a simple design thing. I think that kind of covers the inside of these. In terms of boat shape, they're similar. I think the Lynx is a little bit bigger. You know, it's just a tad longer, and it has more rocker. So, you know, this one definitely has less rocker. So when you hit your punching holes or coming off drops, this added rocker there is going to help, you know, turn you the right way. All right, so I'm going to flip them over, compare the bottoms. So they, you know, they both have this these nice mesh drain, and they really do drain quickly. So I don't have any complaints about that. They've also got these handles here, which to me are useless. I think this flip strap from the cheetah seat is probably a good thing, but this, I mean, I can barely get my hand in there right now, much less if I'm going down the river upside down. So, but anyway, it drains well. Another nice feature on this, you know, you got a couple of D-rings, front and back. If you need to strap it down, maybe put some tag lines in. All right. So just by comparison, you know, very similar bottom. Really almost no difference other than the rocker. This Tributary also has the D-rings. It also has these handles, has the mesh drain hole. So, you know, I guess when I bought this Tributary, the Strike, a lot of the reviews, it had really good reviews. And so far it's been good. And to be honest with you, I haven't paddled it. It's been my kids and friends of mine. It's a little too small for me. I'm 6'4", around 200 pounds. So this is really, I could probably get in it, but I just think it's a little small. And since I've got that other one, that's the one I use. So, you know, I think that about covers it. I guess just to show you, you know, kind of size-wise, if you're a bigger person, you don't know what you need. You know, like I said, I'm 6'4". This boat fits me pretty good. Been down a lot of rivers in it. One of the things I like using the ducks for is to get on rivers that I'm not, that I haven't been down yet, and something that may be a little bit out of my comfort zone. I like the idea of going down in a duck first and getting a feel for it before I cruise down it in a hard boat. So, you know, I think they're great for a lot of reasons. You can also put gear in the back of them and haul them around if you want to do overnights. I'm going to sit in this one. I guess, you know, if I were to paddle this boat, I would have to adjust things, so I can't even get my legs in here right now. But I'm going to swap with my daughter, let her get in here, show you what size it would be here. So, all right. So, if you're looking for a boat, maybe for one of your kids, teenager, or wife, or if you're just a smaller person, this Tributary Strike probably be a good one. And again, it depends on what kind of rivers you're going to run. So I don't know that I'd get in anything beyond class 3 at all with this Tributary Strike. But I think the AIRE could probably, you know, probably go, well, I've paddled it down class 4, so I know it'll do that. I don't know much beyond that. I'm sure it could with the right paddler. All right, folks. Well, I hope that there was some information there that'll help you if you're in the market for an inflatable kayak or a ducky. Thanks for watching. All right. Hey, folks. A couple of things I left out of the earlier review I wanted to mention. One of the things I'm not crazy about with this boat is it's got such a deep floor, like the floor is like this thick. So that means that you're sitting up higher. So I had a couple of NRS Outlaws that when you put your butt in there, your center of gravity was lower, and I think that helps you become more stable. So that's one thing that maybe could be better on this boat. There are other brands and models out there that I'd love to get in and see how those feel too. Other thing I wanted to mention is how do these perform? Because I talked about the features, but not how they perform. So in terms of performance, I do think that they're slower and more sluggish, and I'm talking about duckies, inflatable kayaks in general. Slower and more sluggish than a hard shell kayak. So you're getting into eddies and doing ferries, and some of those moves are gonna be slower than they are gonna be in a hard boat. So, you know, the upside is, you know, the big advantage is, if you're comparing the two, is you're gonna be way more stable in this kind of boat. So if that's what you're looking for, then this might be the winner. What else? Also, if you flip, if you fall out, you can, this thing's still going to float. It's not going to fill up with water. You can scramble back into it. Self-rescue is easier than in a hard shell boat. You flip over in that. If you don't roll up, it's going to be a much more difficult situation. So anyway, just wanted to mention those two things, and that's it. Thanks.